This episode is brought to you by Log from Blammo.
Good evening, fellow Night Owls. While the US is facing record cold weather in the winter of 2024, Xbox wants to warm our spirits with a pseudo-refresh of the Xbox Live Summer of Arcade. With Microsoft starting an Indie Selects initiative to showcase 6 indie games, Xbox hopes to bring some attention to smaller titles. The Xbox line on consoles has a long and storied history with indie games, but this showcase seems to lack a crucial component that their Summer of Arcade had in spades. So search up, fellow Night Owls, and we're going to take a dive into the Summer of Arcade. The Xbox Live Summer of Arcade, or Winter of Arcade if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, was an annual promotion event held by Microsoft on its Xbox Live platform. It was designed to spotlight and promote a select lineup of downloadable indie and arcade-style video games. Launched in the summer of 2008, this promotion ran for several years and became highly anticipated. Each week during the promotion, a new game was featured, and it offered a pretty unique mix of innovative and often critically acclaimed titles that might have otherwise gone under the radar. The event not only helped boost the visibility of these games, but it often included incentives for players. The coolest aspect of the Summer of Arcade promotion was the incentive structure, designed to reward gamers for diving deeper into the summer's offerings. For every additional game that players purchased from the Summer of Arcade lineup, they were often rewarded with either in-game bonuses or Microsoft points, which we could use to buy other games.
Bully! Well, I'd like to take a gander at your haul if you don't mind.
$20.
All right, hobo dollars?
Real dollars.
You sure? I got buttons.
Before we leap into the promotion and each year's unique rewards, let's take a moment to clarify about the currency that fueled the original purchases on the 360, which, by the way, is also the name of the current rewards program that Microsoft has. Made it very hard to find any information about this. Anyways, in this ecosystem, 80 points equals $1, turning each game purchase into a mini accounting exercise. Thank the Lord below that on August 26, 2013, this horrible transaction system was abolished, and we just use good old American dollars as Fungalore foretold.
You guys owe me 20 bucks.
Oh man, this is my lunch money. Dad's gonna ask for it later.
The summer of 2008 was a landmark moment for Xbox Live, marking the debut of the Summer of Arcade. It was a bold experiment, turning the spotlight onto a hand-picked selection of games that promised to heat up our consoles and cool down those long summer days. From the neon-drenched battlefields of Geometry Wars Retro Evolved 2 to the time-bending puzzles of Braid, each title was a gem waiting to be discovered. Castle Crashers was a unique game that brought together a lot of color and chaos, and Galaga Legions and Bionic Commando Rearmed tested our reflexes and resolve. The impact of this first Summer of Arcade was profound. It wasn't just about the games themselves, but the experience that they offered. In the initial Summer of Arcade, 100,000 Microsoft points, a year of Xbox Live, and an Xbox 360 Elite were on the line, just for playing one of the games in the collection, even just the trial. There were also rewards for runners-up, and each game on this sold for 800 points.
Tell me, have you surfaced yet? This is how it felt when I was growing up, and being part of no one but you found yourself.
As 2009 dawned, the Summer of Arcade returned with an even more diverse array of digital delights. This year was about pushing boundaries and blending genres. The reimagined Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time Reshelled, brought nostalgia to the forefront, while Marvel vs. Capcom 2 revived the classic arcade fighter for a new generation. Explosion Man added a spark of humor and innovation to platforming, and Trials HD provided a good challenge that never got old. Shadow Complex also emerged as a dark horse, offering a sprawling adventure that captivated players with depth and complexity. The 2009 lineup was a testament to the arcade's growing influence, showcasing the potential of digital distribution to deliver diverse and high-quality games. The promotion this time around was a little bit less, and if you purchased all 5 games, you received an 800-point rebate. It was clear that the Summer of Arcade was more than just a promotion. It was becoming a cornerstone of my gaming years. The The Summer of Arcade continued in 2010 with a selection that ventured into darker, more atmospheric territory. Limbo stood out as a hauntingly beautiful puzzle platformer. Hydro Thunder Hurricane brought a splash of adrenaline, racing through storm-lashed courses with breakneck speed. Castlevania Harmony of Despair wove together iconic characters and lore, and Monday Night Combat offered a fresh take on first-person shooters. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light closed out 2010 strong with the first positively reviewed game in the Tomb Raider series for some time.
That was certainly unexpected.
This year, Big Daddy Microsoft offered 400 points if you purchase 3 of the games on this list, and 1,200 points if you buy all 5 games in the collection. So overall, not a bad reward, I think. In 2011, the Summer of Arcade painted a rich tapestry of great games. Bastion enchanted us with its vibrant world and dynamic narration, setting a new game storytelling standard. From Dust offered a godlike perspective, challenging us to shape the environment and safeguard a burgeoning civilization. Fruit Ninja Connect is arguably the weakest of the bunch, but it brought Fruit Ninja to the Connect. And Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet explored the eerie beauty of alien worlds. Toy Soldiers Cold War was infused with strategy and nostalgia, but I think it was like the 13th game in that series. As far as rewards go, if you bought all 3 games, you received Crimson Alliance for free. This was an RPG with a cool time-bending mechanic, and I don't mind a free game, but I preferred 2010 where I could spend my points where I liked them.
This southern air is all I need. Breathe it in and I can see canvases behind my eyes. All the colors.
2012 continued to push the envelope with a lineup that blended genres and broke conventions. Deadlight attempted to bring a cinematic flair to the zombie genre, but at this point there were so many zombie games it was kind of unreal. Dust and Elysian Tale was a hand-animated labor of love that combined fluid combat with an engaging narrative. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD remastered a few classic levels for a new era. Racketeer used the Kinect to bring destruction and mayhem to castles far and wide, proving that innovation could come in many forms. The rewards continued to dwindle on this one, and you got a measly 400 points for buying any 3 of these 5 titles. And continued inclusion of the Kinect game is par for the course for this time, but honestly, the Kinect was far from exciting, so it kind of sucks that that was one of the items.
First thing that I do when I walk in is find a way out through which shit gets better.
For the weakest participation award yet, if you purchased 2 Summer of Arcade titles, you would get a free Souls pack for the free-to-play action RPG Ascend Hand of Cool. This year included Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Flashback looks to me like an interesting take on like a side-scrolling shooter like Contra, and I was really interested in seeing where it would take me. And Charlie Murder's art style reminds me if the makers of Invader Zim wanted to make a side-scrolling beat-em-up from the 90s.
As we look back on the legacy of the Xbox Live Summer or Winter of Arcade, it's clear that it was more than just a series of promotions. The yearly event brought us together, sparking discussions and friendships. I was starting to get into gaming podcasts from outlets like 1UP, LaserTime, and Game Trailers around this time, and I was definitely into the 1UP message board, so we talked about these games all the time. So this was a fun walk down memory lane, and I'm glad I was able to document all the Summer of Arcade titles. So what are your favorite memories from the Summer or Winter of Arcades? Personally, my favorite is Bastion. I love the storytelling. The soundtrack is banging, but let me know what games you liked in the comments so we can talk about it. That's all for now, fellow Night Owls, and we'll see you tonight.